What's up, good folks? Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Bernicia, and you're here with N.E.X.T. All right, y'all. So today we're gonna get into some celeb tea, y'all. It's just a little few things that happened over this past week that I want to get into. Okay. First off, before we get started, I would like to start off by saying I hope you guys had a wonderful 4th of July. I hope you guys turned up and celebrated. Um, I do know that if you are in Florida, it was doing a lot of raining yesterday between July 3rd and 4th. So I do hope that you guys were able to get your firecrackers popped off. Everybody, you know, had a good time and everybody tucked it in safely for the night. Okay. So with that being said, that leads me to my first subject. Okay, so I want to talk about this Los Angeles rapper, 4 times extra. Okay, or 4 extra. Okay, apparently this fool was celebrating 4th of July, but his celebration literally, literally backfired. Okay, this MNF ended up blowing up his whole hand. But let's take a look at how he got started, okay?
I'm about to blow a nigga up. Fuck wrong with a nigga. Dead homies, nigga. It's the fourth. I'm about to blow a nigga up. Who wanna get blown up today, nigga? Fuck wrong with a nigga off the back. I'm blowing a nigga up. Stop playing CDs, nigga. I'm throwing them in your house. I'm throwing them at you, nigga. Vernon Avenue, nigga, off the back. I'm blowing your ass up.
So basically, for extra 4th of July, he was hanging out with a bunch of his friends in front of like a shopping center where they're all hanging out. There was like a short that I posted yesterday, him doing some high kick thing. And he basically had a handful of fireworks and he was about to let one off. Didn't actually get out of his hand. Apparently those fuses burn a lot faster than you would think. And yeah, it blew his hand off. And there's more bad news, which is that the true extent of his injuries, I don't think has really 100% been revealed yet. I'm not really at liberty to say exactly what, but definitely there's more to come in terms of like all the stuff that has happened to him as a result of this. But also, I'm not sure 100% who the friend was, but he was with one of his friends, and his friend allegedly like blew half his face off, which I haven't seen any evidence of this or whatever, but yeah, that's all we know right now. He's in surgery right now, off pain meds for like the first time in his entire life. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated, but that's all that we know right now. So fingers crossed that things don't get any worse.
God, I didn't even say nothing yet. Come on, bro. I didn't even say.
Just like a white friend would. They would come and overly explain everything that happened, okay? So, yeah, he totally had to go to the hospital and like get stitches, man. He had to get like 48 stitches up down the right linear side of his face. And oh my God, he was looking like this and this. I was like, goddamn, I was well getting a man Social Security number. Goddamn, Adam, you know all the details, don't you, huh? I'll just say this. 4 times extra. I don't know you for your music, but unfortunately, the first time that we get to talk about you over here on these parts of the streets is because you are an idiot. Okay, doesn't make no sense. You too damn grown to be pulling those stunts and shenanigans. Like it's one thing to um, you know what I'm saying, do like some little clout chasing shit that won't get you hurt, but something that's gonna end your ass up in the hospital is a little extreme. But I guess your name is extra for a reason, right? Unfortunately, the first time I hear from you is not about your music, it's about you getting burnt the fuck up. So there's that. So, anywho, y'all, let's move on to someone that we all know, okay? Cenat. So Cenat, this is really this is the first time that we've really talked about him over here on the screen like that, okay? Um so what happened was there was a Twitch live stream that went viral the other day, okay? And basically it was one of Cenat's homeboys or screamer buddies and a girl, okay? And this girl started airing um Cenat out, okay? She was saying things like, oh, you know, he ate me out and he was messing with me when he was with Gigi, and I don't know. But let's take a look at this video because sis went off.
On Gigi.
No, he was not. No, he was not. No, 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 no,
Cenat.
no, 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 no.
Cenat definitely put that raw dick in me.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, 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 no.
And he been ate this.
No, 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 no.
He didn't.
No, he's not. No, 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 no.
Yes, he did. Show proof. It says, okay, I'll be ready. Just let me know when you call in my black truck.
No, 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 no.
Wait, why? Okay, whatever. All right. I've been trying to figure out like when him and Gigi got together because he was fucking me. What's your favorite food? And I just seen Gigi post some shit about June. Oh, bitch, your nigga was in this.
Hold on. Wait, back.
Pause deep in this. Cenat should have made me sign an NDA.
Nah, fuck with that. No, don't play my son Kai like that.
Cenat was eating this fuck out this.
No. I don't play my son Kai like that. I ain't gonna.
Now, a lot of people felt the ways about this because they like, oh my God, Kai, you over there cheating on Gigi. She's a pretty girl. Now, for those of you who do not know who Gigi is Cenat's little young girlfriend. He just recently threw her like this lavish surprise birthday party. I think she just turned 21 not too long ago. This is Gigi. Okay. First of all, sis, as far as this girl concerned, like, what do you get out of that?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, he ate your box, y'all fucked, whatever. Like, what do you get out of that? What exactly is the thrill out of exposing somebody that you had sex with? You just letting the whole world know you got an extra fucking body on you. So, what's the point? And if he fucked you, ate you out, so what? He probably do that to like 100 bitches a week. So, like, really? Like, do you want a cookie? Do you want some brownies? Like, what the fuck do you want? Congratulations. See, Kai better watch out because he's young, very young, and very rich. Okay? I don't think this nigga even 25 yet. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't follow Kai. You know, he's just a big name. I don't follow him. I don't get into that shit. But listen, with him being so young and so rich, it's a lot of fucking vultures circling, okay? Circling the blocks. And the first set of vultures that he need to worry about is these young girls, okay? Bitches like the one in question, the one that's around here airing out his business, like if he did sleep with her or whatever the case is, she even showed text messages. Child. Bitches like that are set-up queens. That's how you end up with a baby and you're paying 50 grand a month for child support. For a child that you can't see, don't want to see, don't know. This is how y'all niggas end up in these type of situations because you don't have any you're not selective about how and where y'all put y'all dicks. I get it, some of these females probably be looking good at the time, but you have to get to know a motherfucker, get to know their character. Be careful of the people that you have around you because everybody's out to get them. This girl had no reason to expose her sexual escapade with Kai other than the fact that she wanted some clout and she probably felt some type of way because Gigi is obviously his girl. Obviously somebody he cares about because he's parading her around, spending buku money on her. So perhaps this is why this girl felt some type of way. I don't even know why the fuck y'all made this bitch go viral. Y'all could have just ignored her ass. But child, since y'all talking about it, hell, I got to talk about it too. Shit. And speaking of some shit that I don't really care to talk about, let's go ahead and get into Chrisean. All right? We've been talking about this bitch all week at this point. So Chrisean Rock has become the talk of the town yet again, child. So recently, she just went to, she was invited to Nicki Baby's birthday party, okay? And she was caught digging in this girl's birthday cake. Y'all take a look.
Why is Chrisean even there? Who does this?
Alright, now y'all getting on my nerves. Y'all must be tripping about that cake. First of all, nobody was planning to eat the cake. They just took a picture with it and sat it up. 2, there was no utensils. 3, the icing looked so good. It looked like it tastes really good, so I had to try. I was allowed to do that. And I was the only one that was eating it like that. There was multiple people around eating it like that. They just...
First of all, Chrisean, I can understand the fact that the cake probably was just there for decoration. That, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, Vicky probably didn't want to eat the cake, probably wasn't going to eat the cake, whatever, whoop. But the polite thing to do would have been to take the cake home after the party, okay? If there was no utensils, nothing for you to eat the cake with, then that don't mean that you then take your 5 fingers and stick them inside a cake and eat the cake like a fucking rabid animal, okay? Like you a baby with your first 1-year-old cake and you digging in it. She reminded me of my baby when she was 1 and I got her first little cake and she dug in it and was just fucking it up. That's what Chrisean looked like. You was too grown to be doing some shit like that. And not only that, you at a party surrounded by people who have names in the industry, okay? Obviously, this was a birthday party that you was invited to, but it was probably it's probably more than likely like a little networking event too at the same time. And girl, who the fuck want to conversate with somebody who's sitting over there digging their fingers into a cake, eating it like they fucking 3? Like, this is what I said earlier in my last video about Chrisean. When I talked about her and the Tia Kemp situation. The way that Chrisean carries herself when she's out in public is ridiculous. Okay, we should not have to keep hearing or catching or seeing video clips of her doing some just hood booger ass shit. We should not have to keep seeing that, Chrisean. And she did say that she wasn't the only one eating the cake like that, but you was the only one that they've talking about, okay? And when you know that you got a lot of people on your ass, people is waiting for something to say, why continue to give them shit to talk about? You just sticking your hands in that damn cake like that ain't make no sense. It looked messy, okay? So, not only did this situation happen, but apparently her and Tia, did that little saga continues, okay? So, according to Tia Kemp, for those of you who don't know, is Rick Ross' baby mom. She's also a social media influencer. She's known as N.E.X.T, okay? And homegirl be on the internet roasting every motherfucking body. But her, Chrisean, has had a bit of a tiff, okay? Now, she spoke on Chrisean's, not so much spoke on her son, but on the whole situation about, you know, Chrisean leaving that baby in the car, when she was supposed to be doing Twitch screaming. She left the baby in a hot car. Okay, so Tia Kemp, like a lot of other people, came out and spoke on it. Okay, but Chrisean seriously felt the fucking way, and so she responded to Tia Kemp. So then it turned into like a little back and forth between them two. Now Tia Kemp is up and she's going the fuck off. Okay, she claims that Chrisean prank called her phone and was playing on her phone in the wee hours of the morning.
Your real baby daddy, ho, did you have him off? That's all I needed was a threat, bitch. I ain't Calissa, ho. I flatline your bitch ass, pussy ass, ho. Bitch, I got sure your motherfucking age, ho. If you ever in life think you can raise your hand up at me, bitch, I'ma lay your ass out, ho. Your mama and them better have some insurance on you, bitch, because I got insurance older than you, ho. Ho, you gonna respect me. I ain't Calissa, bitch. Now call my motherfucking phone again and wake me up, ho. I fly where the fuck you at, puss ass young ho. Musty bitch. Go take care of your motherfucking baby, ho.
We don't know you, bro.
You do know me, ho. You on my line, ho. You woke me up out my sleep, pussy bitch. And ho, I got you recorded so you know. Since you done threatened me, ho, pull up like you say when you come to Miami, you looking for me. Rope me off and do me like you did, Ronnie, bitch. Cause everybody gon' motherfucking know. Ho, I'ma flatline your pussy ass. You come to Miami, ho, you must don't know the laws here, bitch. Yeah, ho, that hoe hung up. She hung up, she can't take the truth. Puss ass ho, all you gotta do is come to Florida, ho. and run your puss ass up on me, bitch. I ain't one of these hoes you been playing with. I ain't a baddie hoe.
The caption saying that Tia had me on the phone. I was not on no phone. I would be live if I went on the phone with her. I think she fake had somebody act like me for her content, you know? That's that weird shit. That's that weird shit. Like, I don't even know what y'all got time for nowadays. To be real or weird. To be real weird, that's what it is. That's the only time I got time for it to be real weird, because I ain't never caught it before. And whoever is faking to be me on the phone, good job, because it's not me. Because I must have struck a nerve when we first was going back and forth, because to fake a phone call and put it on live like that, like we really on the phone.
Chrisean, you got the right motherfucking one, sister girl. You keep thinking that you can go off and you can threaten and you can bully any motherfucking body that you encounter or anybody who you feel like. Bitch, you got the right one. And I wish you would bring your ass to Florida. Because, bitch, the Florida stand your ground laws is very much wrong, bitch. And if you don't know, let me tell you right now. Don't come to Florida trying to show your ass. Because bitches in Florida, the sun that has been soaking in our motherfucking heads and scalps have loosened a few screws, bitch. So do not come to Florida thinking that you finna show your ass, bitch. Because you gonna get what you asking for, okay? Not only could you possibly get laid the fuck out, bitch, but you gonna get laid out and it would be justified, bitch, because the streets, stand your ground law here is not to be fucked with, okay? I'm just saying, girl. And based off the way that Tia was going off, now I don't heard Tia go off and cuss and say a bunch of shit before, but that right there sound like a bitch that was woke up out her motherfucking sleep.
Oh, shut the fuck up and get off my phone, bitch.
That's how I be cussing when a bitch come fuck with me after I done worked overnight all night and a motherfucker come ask me for any motherfucking thing while I'm trying to rest. That's how I go to cussing. So I know she wasn't lying when she said somebody called her phone and woke her the fuck up, okay? Now, Chrisean says that it wasn't her, okay? She also claims that she feels like Tia Kemp is using this whole situation for content, that she had somebody pretend to be her. But bitch, I heard a little snippet of her voice, okay? I heard her say something. I don't even know you. That sounded like Chrisean. But child, yeah, so with that being said, Chrisean, girl, listen, you've been getting into a whole lot lately. I don't know what's going on with you. I know that a lot of things, probably was exasperated by the fact that people do want clickbait and things like that.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
But you can't fake the shit that we actually see you doing, okay? And so I'm not one of the ones that's gonna sit here and say, hey, Chrisean this, Chrisean that, Chrisean did this, Chrisean did that. No. I'm not gonna just talk about what you did without offering some, you know, advice of some sorts. If you don't want to take that advice, if you want to take offense to what I gotta say, then fine, fuck it. Cuss me out too. Hell, I don't give a fuck. But ultimately, I just feel like since you need to take a step back and try to evaluate what's going on, okay? It's been too much going on in the media about you. People are starting to be repulsed by you, okay? A lot of people, they don't really want you in their circles. It's one of those things what my daddy used to tell me, like, baby, people be laughing at you, not with you, okay? So I hope that Chrisean just takes a step back. She was doing so well for quite a bit of time, but now that it's close to time for Blueface to come home, we're starting to see all these antics start up again. But I really hope that she would dial it back and get back on that track that she was on. Okay, she was on a high trajectory up. Okay, go ahead and put out that Jesus album. Go ahead and do your Christian thing that you was doing, and just stick to that, because you are way more likable and appealing in that format, okay? But threatening somebody after you just got off probation, I don't know. Is the bitch still on probation here? I don't know. But after your last run in with the law and having to be separated from your son, because now it's not just you anymore, it's you and Junior, okay? So after being separated from your son for that bit of time last time, I would think that you would move a lot differently, okay? You can't go around here threatening people and running up on people and doing whatever the fuck you want to do without facing those consequences, okay? Okay. All right, so before I get out of here, I want to go ahead and talk about the Diddy verdict, okay? This has been a big thing. I've been following the trial. Now, I haven't been covering it, talking about it, or any of that good stuff because let's just say the salaciousness of it, all the courtness of it. Bitch, I got PTSD from court. Last time I went to court, it was about a fucking traffic ticket. And when they dismissed that ticket, I flew out of that bitch faster than a motherfucker bat out of hell. So I don't like the idea of court. So I couldn't be one of those people up there going to cover the tea and get the news and stuff firsthand at the court. Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to Armand Wiggins. Shout out to Lovely T. Those are a few of the influencers or the bloggers that I actually watched and was able to keep track of the court proceedings that way. But yeah, child. So we have everything has finally damn near came to a head after months of fucking court and months of all this bullshit going on. We're finally getting damn near to the end. Okay, so now Diddy's verdict went he had a half and half verdict, okay? And it went exactly how I imagined that it would, okay? So he was found not guilty of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking, okay? But he was found guilty of 2 charges of transporting of prostitutions, okay? Now, they tried to get him for a RICO, but because they couldn't get him for more than one charge, had they been able to get him for, let's just say, for example, if they was able to get him for racketeering, conspiracy, plus the transporting of prostitution, that would have been considered like a RICO, okay? But because they was only able to get him for one serious charge and not the other, they couldn't get him for a RICO, okay? Even though I know it sounds crazy because of RICO. When you think of RICO, you think of like a whole business enterprise, and the fact that they were trying to get one man for a RICO, it baffled all of us. Trust and believe, it baffled a lot of us. But based off what I know and what I've learned from watching this whole process, is that there's a lot of colorful language when it comes to the RICO. And he could have been potentially charged with a RICO, okay? But he missed that, all right? Lucky for him. His sentencing is set for October 3rd. He was denied bail, okay? So the judge is not letting him out. So he's going to have to sit his ass in there till October 3rd. But we're thinking that he's probably going to come back and probably try to keep fighting for it, pushing for that bail, because October 3rd it's a ways away. It's a little ways away, okay? And he's already been in there for a considerable amount of time, so we're thinking that he's probably going to end up getting bail eventually. But we shall see, okay? Also, his lawyers is pushing for the sentencing to be pushed up. They want to get it done a lot faster than October 3rd. So, so he could be potentially facing up to 10 years for each charge, okay? So each count of transporting of prostitution, each charge carries a maximum of 10 years, okay? So he could potentially face up to 10 years for both charges. Now, I've been hearing different things from different people. Some people are saying that, it's a possibility that he may not get no more than maybe 50 months, 52 months or something like that, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? This is basically a slap on the wrist giving the charges that he was facing. Okay? Now, I'll just say this because I don't have much of an absorbent opinion on all of this stuff. I just feel like, and I'm not on nobody's side one way or the other. I just know as a woman who is not privy to privilege, a black woman raised around a lot of black men and raised in the hood. My perspective on this case may be a lot differently than a lot of y'all's perspectives, okay? Now, I will state again that I have no dog in this fight. I don't give a fuck either way. It doesn't involve me. I mean, yes, Diddy is a despicable person, yes, but I mean, that's their business. That's rich people's problems, okay? So I have no dog in this fight. But I will just say this. I expected Diddy to get off on the RICO for a couple of reasons, okay? The first is that I think the prosecution dropped the ball with all the sex stuff, okay? They were focusing too much on Diddy and these freak offs, interviewing these prostitutes, if or putting all of these prostitutes on the stand. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was over 25 different prostitutes that were involved in this court case. I just feel like the fact that they focus solely on the domestic violence of the situation and on the freakiness, the freak offs and all of those things. I think focusing on that is what confused the jury. Okay? Because if you don't know anything about the law, hearing this case, hearing about these freak offs, hearing about how, Diddy beat up Cassie and how he made, Jane Doe and all these other girls perform these sexual activities to please him, it all sounded like he was just this freaky ass abusive dude, okay? But what we didn't hear in this case was these women being forced to stay, okay? Now, you can talk about the Stockholm syndrome of it. You can talk about the financial dependence of the situation, but there was always an escape route for these women, okay? Even with Cassie could have left, had opportunities to leave Diddy plenty of times before. Matter of fact, when she finally got fed the fuck up, she did leave, did she not? Okay, and the same thing with a lot of the other women that he was dealing with. It's not like he was holding them hostage. These were grown women, men and women, who chose to be a part of Diddy's circle because they wanted proximity to his riches and the lavish lifestyle, okay? And their key witnesses was really what took the cake for me. It was the Jane Doe and the Capricorns of them all. They took the cake for me. When they got up there on the stand, they were saying things like, he would threaten to stop paying for my house and stop doing this. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm a regular everyday woman and I work 2 jobs. I work 2 jobs and I be fucking doing a podcast and I'm a parent. Okay? And I was thinking to myself, like, why is it so hard for you to go get a job? Like, it's one thing to be dependent on somebody and they strip you and take everything from you. And you have nothing left. But if you can go get a job and start over from scratch and build your own foundation up, you don't have to depend on nobody. You don't have to worry about a nigga snatching a rug from under your feet whenever he get ready if you had your own means and source of income. One of these women in particular had a baby father who was bankrolling her prior to her being in a relationship with Diddy. Her baby's father, she was surviving off his child support. Okay? And then she got with Diddy, and Diddy started taking care of things for her. It's victims, and I say this with quotation mark. I don't know the extent of all of this. I say this with quotation mark because it's like y'all was victims of choice. Y'all wasn't victims of circumstance. Y'all wasn't victims by force. Y'all was victims of choice. Because you wanted to stay and deal, you chose to stay and deal with this man and put up with the things that he did to you because you felt like there was opportunity in it for you. But this would have been a regular ass nigga from the street. Now one of these women would have stood around and let him orchestrate freak offs while he stood in the corner, baby oiling himself up. Neither one of these women would have sat there and let themselves get slapped around and humiliated by some broke nigga. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So the fact that you stayed with him because he could provide a certain lifestyle to me said to me that y'all was a victim of choice. You didn't have to be there and be continue to be victimized, but you wanted to be because you thought it was something in there for you. So either way, when I was hearing the cases, keeping track, following the case, and hearing the victims' testimonies and all the witnesses and things like that, the only real crime that I see that was committed was the fact that Diddy is just a horrible fucking individual. But it didn't sound to me as if he actually did anything that would warrant a crime, because a lot of the things he did, like flying prostitutes out, paying people for sex, that's a lot of things. That's something that's common. Unfortunately, it's common. If you have money, you're not for the. If you're a person with means of money, you're not for the drive when you can afford to have a motherfucker driven to you. You're not for the fly over when you can afford to have a motherfucker fly to you, come to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like door dashing of a person. If you can afford it, why not? So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I have no dog in this fight. I'm neither for or against. It's just is what it is at this point. And quite frankly, I'm starting to believe the conspiracy that the powers that be, the big people that Diddy had brushed shoulders with previously, he did something to piss them off, and they wanted to give him a real nasty ass whooping. Okay, and I feel like this is what this was, because no, he's not gonna go to prison for the rest of his life, of course, no, but his life will forever be changed. The Diddy that we once knew will never be again. Okay, for so many reasons, his life will forever be different. I advise him to call up his friend TD Jakes and find the nearest church, okay? First and foremost, he need to thank God. Thank God that they didn't ship his ass and put his ass under the fucking prison. They need to thank God for that. He also needs to seek forgiveness, and he needs to seek forgiveness, okay, from the people he hurt and from the man up above. Okay, you need to ask God to forgive you for all the wrong that you've done in the past, because he's the only one who has the power to forgive you. You need to ask God to forgive you, because the way that the karma is whooping your ass right now, bro, don't make no sense. So I don't know, child. I don't know. It will be interesting to see what he's going to actually be sentenced to, but I have a feeling that it ain't going to be sentenced to, it ain't like he's going to get sentenced to hell a lot of time, okay? It just is what it is. Plus, y'all got to consider the fact that he's been locked up for quite some time now, so it is a fact of, time served or whatever, so he's not going to be in there too much longer, okay? It should be interesting. It's going to be interesting, definitely, to see what happens when he gets out. Okay? So, with that being said, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed these topics. Till next time, love you guys. Deuces.